Okay, we recording. We're recording?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Here is the project that I started from watching RC every day. I'll give him a shout out because he has been the backbone of this, of building this. I've stayed with regular models, you know, and I've maxed them out, but I can't do anything to them no more. This Jeep here's got all carpet interior. I covered this top in leather material, and that's some of the stuff I've learned from these. So what I'm going to do to this, and this is going to be a crazy build. This was a toy. A buddy of mine down the road brought me that old toy car back there, and this one. And this is the cheap toy that this come as. Crap, you know what I'm saying. And you remember, the date on this is 76. So I get the idea and brainstorm of doing like RC every day, and stripped all this crap out and building a hot rod frame out of it. Now nothing's together. This is I'm mad at myself because I didn't catch it early on in the build. Because I wished I'd have got a before and after. I'm halfway done with it before I even decided to start recording. But anyway, I'll go through and show you some of the stuff. If you can keep up with me, I'll paint a picture on where I'm going with this. I've built a really unique front end. It's a 4-link, but no it ain't. It's a 3-link, but no it ain't. It's both of them. The way it attaches in 4 places. But then I have an A-frame coming up through the bottom and then bolted through a leaf spring, and I'm using the leaf spring in reverse science, basically. I'll do some close-ups of that and show you. But I've not started most of all this. I had so much sun damage. Everything looked about like this. Alright, zoom in. Everything was... good now?
Yeah.
Everything looked like this. It just faded out. It used to be chrome, but it faded out, and it's just all plasticky now. So I'm going to paint all this with model paint. I've built this stainless steel backsplash here. I just took a piece of aluminum flashing and polished it out to where it's good and shiny. The windshield, I'm going to strip it down now and show you where I'm going with the build. This windshield I cut from a tinted tag cover. I like the tinted look because the front headlights are smoked, so it sort of all matches. These headlights, cut them up from the original. The original did have this old big yucky brace on it, and I couldn't find no way to make it look good, so I chopped these off, and the mounts coming up from the leaf springs are going to be held right here. So alright, remember, get you a mental picture and we'll start tearing all this down now. But I'm going to build a canopy for the top. It's going to have tan interior and going to have a tan top, and the top looks really unique on these. This is a 1923 Ford Roadster, and I've ordered from RC 4-wheel drive the realistic turnbuckles, the little miniature metal turnbuckles. Ford logo badge that goes on the new Bronco. I'm going to be putting on the front of the radiator. It's going to be a lot of mechanics in this. I hid one servo underneath the dash column and everything right here. There'll be a wire coming out of the firewall right here working the carburetor. And I've got some of the smallest little bitty chrome screws and carburetor springs you ever seen in your life. It come with the hitch that I mounted onto that. Really small springs, so it's going to have a working throttle body right here. The other side of this relay, I put a long double ear on it, and underneath here, one will be working the gas, and the other one will be working his foot. So he'll have actual working foot with the gas. Let me take him out. Now the stern wheel will be about 1 inch lower than what it is now. I've not completed hooking it to my relay. Let me move some of this. My rear end, the R4 transmission is going to be, I'm going to cut the floorboard out to where it exposes some of the back of the R4 transmission going into metal drive line and a TF2 rear end. Now underneath here I cut out, and I actually had to cut my frame rail a little bit to mount the servo underneath here that turns the sternum wheel. There's going to be a servo to change gears, and we'll have it to where it changes the gears. The back tail lights here that I made are the TX light out of a Cobra 29 CB. So I've got all those hooked up. The bottom two is reversed, and the top two are just lighted red. And this frame was the hardest thing to make. What I did, I just used the 1-inch box square tubing, just like RC Everyday does. And then once I got them built, I took them on my bandsaw and I cut the sides off to give that C-frame shape. Let me see if I can do it on the front right here. But you can see the C-frame right there. And then I come up from the sides and I welded this up here to make it look like a brace. And then I've got 3 different, you can adjust the rod heights and everything on this. But I've got a long way to go. The color, and I wrapped these headers just to see if it's going to look like I've not completed them, but it's going to give the look that I'm wanting. And what I used is some hemp wick, like people that smokes weed, somebody else out there in the world. I don't know nothing about it, but better to be rolling this one while I'm doing this. That's what that's for, is the wick, like for use with hemp rope from bowls and stuff like that. The color of this is going to be candy apple red with metal flake, and I'm going to polish it out with 3000 grit, wet sand it. I'm going to go all out on a paint job. The doors are going to open. I'm going to have opening doors, and this the driver's side door, it's going to be suicide doors. And I'm actually thinking about gluing the little man's hand on the door, or bolting it or some way to where he can open the door and maybe drive with the other. I'm trying to debate whether to have it shifting, or have it to where the door opens. One of the two. So, and this is the little man I'm going to be using. I'm actually going to be using another doll as a surprise. Y'all have to see what who will be driving. But I'm going to take the head off and hands of the other doll and bolt onto this one, because I need all the moving mechanics of this one. And if I glue his arm to the door and the door opens, it'll just have a lot more moving mechanical than these other dolls, like a Keanu Reeves doll or something. We call them dolls. Them's action figures, ain't they, honey? Alrighty, but that's where I'm going with it, and hope y'all stay tuned. That's roughly the ride height that's going to be right there. And the biggest thing into doing these rat rods is tires. Oh my God, why don't somebody build some tires for these rat rods? Because I'm having the hardest time finding a set of Hoosiers or a set of Goodyears, big fat slicks in the back and skinny in the front with the rims matching. I can't find that. So anybody out there that got any ideas or knows anything, do it, send it in the comments. Let me tear this front end down, and I done contacted RC Everyday and told him about what I've hit on here. So let me take one of my axles off here. Okay, you got the camera down here a little bit closer where you can see, but the front, let me get a little closer view of the suspension here, what I was talking about. See what a walled cantilever 3-link setup it is. But the hex is what I was talking about. See here how I used these 75 ohm TV adapters. And all I done was grind the backs down on the grinder to where you get the depth you need on the exposed axle coming out. And this 12 mil hex fits perfect in the back, and you've sort of got a homemade shift axle in the end of it. So works out really good for running 12 mil hexes. I'd seen RC Everyday's video on different designs and stuff that he had made, and this is my favorite. It seems to free roll the best, and I did this on this axle. I'm not going to pull it off, but I've not did this one yet. I left it dry so you can see it. But what I done, once I slid this axle on like that, in the end of it right here, I just packed it full of grease. Then I put my wheel on, and that grease feeds into this little joint right here, and oh, it just turns so smooth. I can't, everything's balanced here. A lot of stuff is fabbed together and not done yet, but it works really good. And my leaf spring here, it works phenomenal. It has such a smooth working front end, but the leaf spring that I used was a standard red leaf soft one for TF2, and it's just way too soft. So these are some harder springs that I have. The tension is going to be about perfect, but I've got to heat these up and bend and put my loops in each end. Right now I just have my turnbuckles clamped down tight on it where it can't move, so it can't flex right now until I get these loops bent. But I've done tested this out and the specs, because of this coming up as an A-frame right here on this link, it can't allow the axle to go side to side. Because of these, it can't go front to back. And what it does, it pulls down, because this is bolted to the bottom. It pulls down on the leaf spring by pulling down on it, and works really good. I'm tickled with the front suspension and everything. I've not started detailing too much on the frame. I'm still going to grind it down a lot more. I've got to work my joints with the Dremel here and smooth out some of my welds. Now this radiator hose, let me zoom in here on it. This radiator hose, the way I made it was just a piece of plastic roll bar like material, and then I took, if you can see the writing there, let me zoom in. There we go. If you can see the writing there on it, it's a piece of heat shrink tubing, and what I did is just put that around the plastic, and then I took bread ties and made it simulated like little water clamps. And where this motor was all plastic, what I did is let me get focused here. I cut the back of it out and mounted a computer fan. If I can get it to zoom, or get it to, there we go. See the computer fan, micro computer fan in there. There, you see it right there a little bit. And I'm going to be running it through a series of resistors, so it turns really slow, because with it running wide open, it makes too much noise, and you can't really see it because of it spinning so fast. You can't see it in there where it's dark. So where I slowed it down, it has a really good look to it, and it actually is going to be blowing air right down the end of the brushless motor. It's going to have a brushless setup, and everything's going to be so ridiculously hid in this. It's ingenious. Let me get this old material out of here. Right here on the back is thick enough to where this interior comes out from 2 screws under the bottom, and the white interior comes right out, and then I have all kinds of space right in here. The battery is going to be back inside of the capsule of this body hid really good. The trunk is what's going to be deceiving on this. Everybody thinks I'm not going to have no room or this, that, and other, and everybody's going to say, oh, it's all hidden in the trunk. But then the trunk is going to open up on its own little relay, and it's going to be some subs back there. I'm taking a Bluetooth speaker sub, and then I'm building a custom enclosure around it, and it's all going to be carpeted and everything, and so, you know, it's sort of going to blow people's minds on where in the hell is everything hid. Where's the battery? Where's the ESC? Where's this? Where's that? You know, but the R4 transmission, and then I'm running a brushless Spectrum setup that I think it's Spectrum. I watched RC Girl do a video on it, and it's motor and ESC all combo. The motor, the ESC is built on the end cap of the motor, and that's what I'm going with this build. So there's the ESC motor, battery. Battery's going to be here inside this compartment, so it's going to be a head turner on. Everything's going to be hid so well, and you're not going to see any of these relays or servos, because even the one that's going to be opening the door, see here inside the floorboard, this perfect sealed off chamber in here, the servo's going to be behind it, and all you're going to see is the rod coming out of here and opening the doors. I've got it all sort of planned out and roughed out, so sorry this video is so long. Let me get a zoom in on my firewall. I don't know if I got that in there earlier or not. I just polished a piece of, well, I can actually take it out here. It's just a piece of aluminum flashing, and there it is. You can see how much of a mirror it turned out. All I did was took the mother's chrome polish, or mother's aluminum polish, and polished it right out. It's going to have spark plug wires. I'm going to have yellow silicone wires right here as plug wires. They're all going to be running down. I'm going to have plug wire hangers and running in it, and I'm going to go all out on this build, and hope you guys enjoy it, and hope to stay tuned. And I'm not sure if I even covered this one or not after I covered the top. It's got a really good feel to it now. A little doggy in the back, and it's got all carpet interior. It's got a overhead light inside. And the dude is, let me get it over here in the light. See the dude's hair? I took hair off of a doll and glued it to his head and put a little bandana on him. And anyway, I don't know when to stop. I go nuts. And it's the same way I'm going to do with this one. It's going to have all leather interior. I'm trying to make my mind up on which way to go with this. Anyway, what I meant is I can do more detail, seems like, by going rusty and having the cotton the foam holes in the tires in the seat and foam showing through the material, and all rusted out frame, rusted out body. I don't know where to go that way for detail, or look, you know, yucky or rusty, or want to do one all pretty and shiny. I think what I'm going to do with this build is I've been doing a lot of aging and weathering, like my Toyota over there. I've put rust here and there on it, and you know, on the body, and rusty places all around the fenders. So I don't really have one that is all pretty and shiny. So I think with this one, where I'm going to go is as shiny and pretty as I can. Now the motor and the engine is not going to be chrome. I'm not going to spend mad money and just buy all chrome and everything for that engine, and when I already got what I got, and I can take some model car paint and just paint all that and look just as good. So it's not going to have much chrome, but as far as paint work and the body work and everything else, I think I'm just going to try to showcase how good I can paint the bodies. And I have a little trick that I use to get nicer detail on the paint, if I can find it here. I'll show you my method of madness here too. I'll let you in on what I'm doing over here behind enemy lines. I've got a mess. This is my rolling cart. Now I've got outbuildings to do this stuff in, and I've got a room in there as a hobby room. It's set up for nothing but doing hobby work. But do you know where I end up every time? In here in front of this damn TV. So I got this rolling thing on wheels, so wherever I'm doing a model, it goes with me. I mean, hell, if I go out on the porch and sit in the summer, I'll drag this thing out there and work on them. But I'm looking for my, here it is. This, I've kept this for years, and this is the handiest damn thing you'll ever buy in your life. This is 3M brand sandpaper. That's 3000 grit, and you can wet sand with it. And it's the epitome of a perfect paint job. You spray it with spray can, and you'll have a little bitty orange. No matter how good you do, you'll have orange peel in it, or you'll have dust bumps here and there. I used to work painting real cars, and that's the trick to a beautiful paint job, is you don't just paint it and you're done. It's the work just begins once you get the paint laid down. It's a lot of work on wet sanding, and you really got to know how to wet sand to block it out even, and not take it thin here and wear in there, you know, because you'll alter and change the color if you wear thin here or there. But you take your time, and once you get your paint laid down, you take your time and you wet sand the paint after it's done until this is what you want it to sort of look like. As you're rinsing it off in the sink, when the water runs over it, it's going to give you the appearance of what the final look's going to be. So during that time after you wet sand your paint, it's going to be all faded and dry looking, but when you wash it off in the sink, when you're letting the water run down it, that's what your final look's going to be. So as that water's running it over in the sink, it's when you want to move it all around and look for any imperfections in that water, like will make the water trail go off another way or whatever. That's more wet sanding needs done in that area or something. Once you get it all where the water's running over it and glassed out and looking really good, that's when you start throwing the clear to it. And the more clear you put, you got to sort of watch on detail lines and door handles and this, that, and other. You can't go too heavy with these models, but typically what I do is about 3 to 4 coats and wet sand between each coat, even the clear coat. And in the final, you even wet sand the final coat. The last one, you can even wet sand the final. Then you jerk out your rubbing compound and your polishes and your glaze, and you buff that baby, and oh my God, that paint will just look like it's 4 inches deep. But I hope that I can do it, and I hope that I can really do a good job on that paint job, and show you guys. And I can't travel or go to USTE or something like that. I'm up here in the hills of Virginia, so I'm sorry this video is a damn hour long and I ain't even getting nowhere with it, but I can't travel. I'm too far to travel to these events and USTE and everything like that, so all I can do is get on YouTube and show what I've built. I ain't even no local people to crawl with or nothing around here, so I just love building. I can't afford to build a real 23 rat rod, so this fills the bill, sitting here building one of these rat rods while you're watching TV in the winter and watching it snow by the fire and good mixed drink, smoking you one, and whew, I wished it was done, and at the same time I wished it wasn't, because when it's done I'm not going to have nothing else to do. We'll start something else. But that's when to me, that's my most enjoyment. That's when I'm in heaven, is during the building process is when I'm happiest. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you get some ideas, and stay tuned. Probably be 3 or 4 months building this thing, but just stay tuned. I'll try to throw a video up every week and show progress and show maybe putting 4-link. Oh, there's something else I want to hit on too. And whoever, this is like a little bonus, I guess, for whoever stayed to watch this damn video, as long as it is, and stupid, I ain't talking about nothing really. Here's a winner. What I want to comment is I see a struggle in this, and even what I call the big boys, like RC every day. He is so, man, some of his builds are just sick. I love them. That's where all my ideas come from. But I hit on something the other day that is big, and is these right here. Let me take one apart so you don't see it first. Well, you'll recognize what it is here. This is from my flying world. I fly the drones and stuff too, obviously, the channel name FPV, but this is a part from a drone. Let me lay this down. This is it ain't gonna focus on it. This is a post mount standoff that goes down between your FPV plates of your drone. And you can get these in all different lengths in the drone world, even low ones for low rider cabs. But these holes goes all the way through on these. So you can chop these up and cut them up to any length you want. And the eyelets screw in them perfect. So you got all metal, aluminum links, and you can buy these in any colors or anything. If you let me see, what's some good places? Get FPV. I'll give them a little shout out here. GET FPV. Get FPV out of Florida. That's where I order most of my FPV stuff. And these standoff links from the FPV world is the perfect size threaded for these ends to go in. So maybe that'll help you guys on coming up with custom link lengths or anything, you know. And right there it is. It fabs up, makes beautiful links. The miniature ends, like RC Everyday uses, I got ordered and got coming. The miniature ball end links are the same, about the same diameter as this, and makes a really good looking link. These plastic ones, you got that little bump, but anyway, those makes really good metal strong links for your 4-link in the rear or front or anything. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you get some ideas from